Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All Educational Videos channel. We are continuing with making Scratch tutorials, learning Scratch, and in this video today we are going to try to learn how and when to use Scratch block which is named create clone of. Okay, let's go to Scratch to see that in action. I'm currently in cat, Scratch sprite. I don't want to code the cat and I want to hide the microphone. Okay, so yeah, I will select the tree. Tree would be a good example, maybe something else, but we will start with the tree. Okay, so this new block which we are learning today is one of the control blocks, the orange group of blocks, fifth from above. So find the control group of blocks, and one of the last blocks there is create clone of. Click and drag it to your right coding window, and if you are not following our tutorial and don't have this tree sprite, you can select it from here. So click on sprite library and go to probably tree. Let's see, TT and yeah, tree 1. Okay, so select this one, tree 1. Okay, and click here, choose a sprite to enter the sprite library. Okay, so when you click and drag this, I will first show it and detach this when green flag clicked. I will put it here maybe. So my position, I like this position here where the tree is, so I will click on motion group of blocks and click and drag this, go to X and Y, so the tree will start from here when I click on the green flag. So when I start the game with this button, tree will always start from here. So if I accidentally drag it here or somehow drag it here, then start the game, tree is there. Okay, that looks cool. So and that's still doesn't have any connection to this new block. So let's see what this new block does. Let me click on let me touch it. No, let me click first on it to see if anything will happen, and I don't see anything on the screen. So I can click as many times as I want. I don't see any change on the screen. Why is that so? Is there anything happening on the screen at all? So let me click on this tree, try to drag it. Yeah, actually I have created copies of the tree as many times as I have clicked. So I have clicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I had one original tree, so I have created 5 copies of the tree. So you see. Okay, so how is this working and when we are going to use it? You're going to use this create clone of myself or some else sprite, some other sprite, when you have sprites which are looking the same but acting or not acting the same. That acting you can choose yourself, but they look, for example, the same in general. Like, for example, if you have star collectibles, which we had here, we made 3 of those, so you can make only 1 of those and use this create clone, and every other star will be cloned from the original and act like original. For trees, for enemies, for anything, as I said, which is looking as the original. So you will probably use this a lot in your games, like for example in shooter games where you have enemies, you will clone them. In platformer games also where you have enemies or collectibles like coins and so on, you will clone them and so on. So you will have this Scratch block, you will find it very usable. So that's how you use it. You click on it or attach it here. Let me first stop this, so this will reset to original position, and let me touch it here to see if this works with scratch block. Yeah, so you see I have original and I have clone. Let me try to, for example, use control block like repeat 4 times. I want 4 clones, so I will use repeat 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 clones, and this was original, or maybe first one was original and clones were behind him. Okay, so you can see how easy is to make clones of some sprite, some character, and how powerful that is. So okay, once again, maybe some of you are still confused. Okay, but that's like same when if I made the trees myself like this, click on this tree sprite like 5 or 10 times. If I need 5 clones, I will click just 5 times, 10 times, and so on. Okay, so maybe for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10 clones you can do that, but think about it. If you have, for example, 100 enemies, 100 coins, 1000 coins to collect, there you would make 1000 of those copies here with sprites, so that doesn't make much sense. It will look ugly, it will take a lot of space here, and Scratch will have to remember them, every one of those, so it will drain the Scratch resource, memory resources, and so on. So using the clones you will make faster games, probably easier to manage, easier to control, and so on. So there are a lot of good sides to using clones. So for example, I can now delete this 3, 3, 3 and this 3, 2. Why? Because I will use this 3, 1, clone it, and other will act the same. So you can see how I deleted 2 sprites from here, and they looked, and this whole space is now looks more looks much cleaner and faster to navigate and see what do we have here, and so on. So I can also delete this, for example, sprite star 5 and 4, and leave just 3 and clone it. I will do that later probably, but for now on, let's see what else we can do here with 3. I think for this scratch block that's it. We just made a clone of some sprite, some character, some environment asset, and that's it. And yeah, maybe I can add let me see if I have some kind of bush. I would like to have some kind of bush or flowers. Bush. There is no bush. Let's see if there is a flower. FL. No, that's strange. We don't have a bush or a flower, which is okay. Maybe bush is not so. It's not used so often, but flowers. I guess flowers would be needed for kids' games. Strange. Anyway, we have prince and princess. Oh yeah, rocks is great. So I will use rock, and I will yeah, I will change this name of this sprite to bush instead of rocks, and I will click on costumes in top left, and I will pick green color and this paint bucket fill, and I will just fill it, and now it looks like a bush, some kind of bush, maybe not perfect but good enough. Okay, so I will use the same approach here. I want this bush to be in the front line and this tree to be in the background, and that looks cool. And I want this bush, yeah, maybe a little bit smaller. So let's click on the bush. Let's go to When green flag is clicked, I want look to change. I want the size to be 75, for example. Yeah, and I want position to be here. Position is this. Okay, so let me see if that works. Yeah, cool. And I want to make 3 or 4 bushes, clone of bushes here with this new scratch block which we have learned today. Create clone of myself, and I want to repeat that 3 times. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees and 1, 2, 3, 4 bushes. Okay, but when I start the game, they're not spaced like this. They're just stick to the left. We have to fix that, and we will fix that in next video. For this video, that's it. We have learned how to create clone of some sprite. That means create a copy of it, which we will use later with the new scratch blocks. Okay, see you in next videos. Thanks for watching, and keep sharing your knowledge and expanding your knowledge as much as you can. Bye for now.